Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So I saw this post by NBA Central the other day that stated NBA executives envision scenario in which the Lakers trade Anthony Davis to the Bulls for Zach Lavine. And while this is something I know that would not just happen, I think there's stipulations and circumstances in any scenario playing out. It's something I wanted to think about over the course of the past couple of days about what would the scenario be in which this would happen. Because I think if you asked probably Bulls fans off the top of their head, like, would you trade Zach Lavine right now for Anthony Davis? A lot would say hell no. And a big reason is because, well, Zach Lavine just committed to the Bulls, was on a 5-year contract. Obviously he's been there for a long time now, through the worst of it, and the team's looking to be on the come up. And Anthony Davis, meanwhile, yes, a few seasons back when he was with the Pelicans, he was one of the most dominant big guys we have ever laid our eyes on, right? Like, Anthony Davis was that guy, went to the Lakers, won a championship, injuries has crept upon him yet again. And a big part of just his trade value is going to be based off of how he starts off next NBA season. So I think the scenario that would, at least instigate this happening, or at least talks about it happening, would have to be around the trade deadline. I think it would be around the trade deadline, and you have a circumstance where the Bulls are a bad basketball team. You're going to the season with high hopes, and maybe DeMar DeRozan peaked a little bit too much last season, couldn't live up to, what he did last year, kind of like, Julius Randle when he won Most Improved Player on the Knicks 2 seasons ago. Then last year, obviously, didn't really play all that great. Maybe there's injuries, or just, I don't know, man, a lot of different circumstances about why the Bulls could be a bad team, right? But, meanwhile, you got the Lakers, who we predict aren't going to be the greatest team, but we'll kind of see about that too. You got LeBron James in the end of the day. I mean, I know we said that last year too. But also, let's keep in mind here, man, that any sort of trade rumor is going to get put to rest if a basketball team is good. If the Bulls are at the trade deadline next NBA season and they're a top 3, 4, 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, then yeah, they're not going to trade anybody away. If the Lakers start the season off, I don't know, man, like 5-0 or 9-1 or something crazy like that, you're not going to hear a damn Russell Westbrook trade rumor for the rest of the season if they hold up to at least somewhat of that standard, which 9-1, well, you have to be pretty damn dominant. I don't think they're going to be that, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like, trade deadline, both teams did not play to their standards, want to pull off a big trade. And that's kind of how we're going to handle it for today's video. If you guys are still watching this video and you are intrigued by these type of, video ideas and just discussion videos, would really mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe button and that like button. Thank you guys all so much for that. But okay. So why Anthony Davis? Why would the Bulls want Anthony Davis? Well, you got to think about it like this. For one, I believe he's from Chicago, so you have that connection right there. But also, I think, like, the biggest downfall of the team, or one of the biggest downfalls last season for this team, is, like, Vooch is, like, fine offensively. If I'm being honest, I think he's kind of on his way out as, like, a good NBA center. I just think that, the agent and stuff like that's going to start catching up to him. I mean, offensively, he'll always be good. I just think he's going to start looking a little bit slower out there and stuff like that. So, I mean, adding a guy like Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players in the NBA, when healthy, definitely helps out with that. His connection with Lonzo Ball could be pretty damn nice too. I would like that a lot. Obviously, having DeMar DeRozan on the squad, Vooch and Anthony Davis most of the time can kind of shoot the 3 ball. Well, last season he was actually, I think he was like 18% last year. But regardless, like, that's going to be decent spacing for DeMar DeRozan. As far as finding Zach Lavine's replacement, we still have to do the trade, by the way. You have a lot of really good guard talent on this team where, maybe you start Kobe White at shooting guard. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that, but from a scoring standpoint, put him in the backcourt with Lonzo Ball, and I think Kobe could average maybe 17 points per game as a starter. Also got Ayo Dosunmu right here, who was one of the best rookies last year. I mean, maybe you want to put him at the shooting guard spot for that. He's got the perimeter defense and everything like that. Offensively, can be pretty solid at times. Or you could even go with Alex Caruso, who we know does all the little things out there. He's the glue guy that any championship team needs. So I think you would be able to lose Zach Lavine, what you're replacing dynamically with getting Anthony Davis. I think you could at least make up some of the scoring or some of the things that Zach Lavine really does well for the team. So that's why I see them doing it. As far as the Lakers go, this one's a bit more of a tough sell. I guess the way I can really look at it is, you put Zach Lavine in the backcourt with Russell Westbrook. It's interesting. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna say it's not interesting. I think that Zach Lavine, obviously you can give him the basketball, he can score that way, but I also think playing off ball, we might see a lot of, like, how Paul George played with Russell Westbrook on the OKC Thunder a few seasons back, which he had, like, his best season. So maybe you see something like that. Obviously having LeBron James out there too, and yeah, what Anthony Davis brings to the team when healthy is very important. And that's the thing about it, is that you are very much trading away defense for offense. Like, you're going all into offense with this team, because as far as like guys that could make things up, if Anthony Davis was no longer, in their lineup, I mean, you got Damon Jones, you got Thomas Bryant, who might be like one of the worst defensive centers in NBA history. Yeah, it's definitely a case where it's like, well, it's not working with Anthony Davis. Well, what the hell, man? Let's toss in Zach Lavine, see if that works better for us. And that's kind of how you really have to look at it. It's not a great circumstance, man, but that's how it is. So the next thing we have to figure out is, what exactly is this trade looking like? I mean, quite a few seasons ago, what was it? It was Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, draft picks, I think Josh Hart, in exchange for Anthony Davis. I don't think he would be worth that in this case. I think that Anthony Davis is, well, obviously part of the trade because in the video, but keep in mind he's going to be 29, age 30, injury history and everything like that, so that's something to consider. I'm thinking straight up would be fair. I think that's a fair trade just like that. You might be able to argue a few role players or draft picks on either side, but the way I look at it is that if the trade's going down, it's because the Lakers and Bulls are kind of like in not the greatest of places. So that's not going to up Anthony Davis's trade value, And with Zach Lavine, I mean, it's the same thing. They're not going to get like a whole bunch of draft picks back alongside Anthony Davis. It's simply swapping these two players and seeing what works. And I always think, well, maybe you toss in Vooch or somebody like that, which honestly, it wouldn't be the worst thing to add on. I think money-wise, it kind of makes it more difficult. Yeah, he's due $24 million. The only reason I say this is just because you could have AD at the 5 spot and then Patrick Williams would be able to start. I don't know if he's going to be able to start if you have Vooch and AD on the team together. But I also think that's okay. I don't think that Patrick Williams needs to start right away. He's coming off a pretty serious injury and everything like that. He's only 21. He can very well play a still very valuable role as a 6-man on this team. That would be completely fine. So there's some different ways to look at it. But yeah, I think straight up is kind of where it's at. If you guys disagree, please let me know in the comment section below. But keep in mind, keep the scenario in your head. This is the trade deadline, and both teams are not in good places. So yeah, let's go ahead and just do that. Keep it simple with the trade and everything. So let's go to the Lakers and see what their lineup would be looking like. I kind of forgot about, honestly, what if you did like a 3-guard lineup? Put Russell Westbrook with Beverly and Lavine. I mean, rebounding-wise, that probably won't be the worst choice in the world here. But no, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start Russell Westbrook. Plus, I am doing an entire season. Just I feel like you get a better sample size that way. Lonnie Walker, yeah, Austin Reeves. Yeah, I mean, the rotation. Maybe Sharif comes in and does his thing. I don't really know, man. Thomas Bryant, though, for a bench player. Probably would honestly see a lot of LeBron James playing center. I think you would actually see that. I like Juan Toscano-Anderson kind of being in this lineup and everything. I think he kind of adds a certain dimension to the squad. But yeah, let's get these minutes looking good. LeBron got to be playing a lot. So does Zach Lavine. Let's get Russell at 30 a game. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's still not... What I like about it is Lavine is like 2 or 3 years younger than Anthony Davis. So at least you have a very high dynamic scoring shooting guard in his prime. Going into the next offseason and stuff. I just don't think it's more of like a Band-Aid type of fix where it's not going to make them a championship team. But then again, I've seen crazier things. You got LeBron James in the simulation. Things can happen. And then for the Chicago Bulls, I'm thinking what we have to do here, is you were probably looking at Anthony Davis at the power forward spot. That's what he likes to play anyway, so I'm kind of okay with that. And having Vooch at center, I think, is completely fine. And then I guess DeMar would go to small forward, which is a position he's very much played a lot in his career. And yeah, I'm thinking that probably means Patrick Williams coming off the bench. I mean, in theory, him starting at the 2, I don't think is the most like asinine thing in the world. I mean, yeah, maybe not in this day and age, but positionless basketball, like if he's just like chilling on the outside and stuff like that, use athleticism to come to the basket, it could work. But we'll use him off the bench right now. I think I'm okay with that. And yes, so you're looking at Lonzo Caruso. I like that. DeRozan, Anthony Davis, Vooch. You got Donsumu. You got Kobe White for some offense. Andre Drummond's on the team. Patrick Williams. It's a really nice 9-man rotation. It's definitely something different, right? So guys, let's go ahead and simulate this NBA season. I'm predicting the Bulls with Anthony Davis. I'm still thinking they're going to be probably like, I would say they could be like a 46-win team. The Lakers, having Zach Lavine over Anthony Davis now, I think defensively they lost a lot. I think it still works, though, offensively. I'm going to say playing team, but that's because they got LeBron. Let's simulate it and see what happens. Okay, so we're at the end of the NBA season. The Bulls were kind of jumping all over the place. At one point, they were like the 10th seed. Before this win against the Hornets, they were at the 5th seed. Now they're at the 3rd seed. So, it looks like it's a pretty close Eastern Conference, which it should be in real life anyway. And then for the Lakers, I'm not seeing the record yet. They finished 2nd place. Damn. Maybe LeBron just... I mean... Zach Lavine next to LeBron Russell Westbrook is a better fit. It just is. And maybe that's what you got to do. Maybe if you can't get rid of the Russell Westbrook problem, you got to think of circumstance to at least make it better. And maybe trade away Anthony Davis. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. Maybe AD don't got the clout that his name used to have or something like that. And that's just the right move. So let's go and simulate through date and finish with a W on the season. We got Embiid as MVP. Chet, Rookie of the Year. Darvin Ham as Coach of the Year. Yes, sir, man. From the 2004 Pistons, baby. So, okay, I don't really care about this stuff for this video, but we got the Lakers as the 2nd seed and the Bulls as the 3rd seed. So it looks like it was a win-win for both sides. Let's go to the player stats on the season, see how both these teams did. Now, obviously, like I said, we have about the trade deadline, so it might be a little too late for it to have that big of an impact, but this is more so just like a larger sample size. So, Lavine, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And then Russell averaged 18, 6, and 6, only 2 turnovers per game. And actually shot 35% from 3, 50% field goal percentage. It worked out, man. Definitely an offensive-oriented team, but hey, it still worked. So can't complain too much about that if you are a Lakers fan. And then for the Bulls side of things, we have AD averaging 24, 9, and 5. So honestly, nice seeing him go back to his old ways scoring-wise. A lot of good scoring opportunities, not having Lavine on the team and everything like that. So, yeah, definitely a really solid season for him. Worked out nicely with Vooch. DeMar DeRozan still put up MVP caliber numbers. Between, Kobe, Ayo, and also Alex Caruso, they locked down, the guard position pretty nicely. I also forgot about, they also got Goran Dragic. He didn't really play at all, but he's still there. Patrick Williams, not a great opportunity for him, not going to lie. It's not the greatest opportunity for him if this is what they decide to do with their lineup. But record-wise, it still worked out. So let's see how these playoffs actually go for both sides. Simulate play-in. And, okay, so simulate rounds. And we have, Lakers getting eliminated by the Suns in the first round, which sucks because they were the 2nd seed. And the Bulls move on 4-1 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Simulate rounds. It's all about the Bulls now, man. 4-1 beating the Milwaukee Bucks. Next up, Boston Celtics. Simulate rounds. Ooh, damn, man. Him with that Brooklyn Nets sweep. All right. I mean, Eastern Conference Finals, can't get too mad about that. Getting swept isn't fun, obviously. But 38, 13, and 4 for Anthony Davis with the 4 blocks. What do you guys think about this, man? Is this if you are a Bulls or Lakers fan, really just an NBA fan in general, is this a trade you would be open to given the right scenario? Probably not right now, I would say. But given the right scenario, would you be open to it? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.